Hello everybody and welcome to my second video on slide guitar technique. Today we're going to be talking about right hand technique for the most part. We're going to talk about one technique over here on the left hand, but for the most part this video is going to be about string blocking on your right hand, and also I'm not sure what the correct term is for this, but just like a raking technique that you I hear Derek trucks do this a lot. You kind of dig into the strings. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about over here on the left hand, fretting behind the slide. So let's hang out in the key of A for today. This is by no means the only way to play slide. I know a lot of players who play slide with guitar picks, and it's great. It's not the way that I learned to do it, so I'm just kind of telling you my approach to it and what has worked for me. So without further ado, let's maybe stay in the we'll stay in the world of A here. Let's just pick like a random thing that you would play in A. So I'm going to be on the 5th fret here, and let's do like okay. So 3, 5, 6, then flat 3 to 2 to 1. Okay. So you could play that all on one string, and I would encourage you to practice it that way too. But as far as string blocking goes, let's utilize our strings that we have. So the first thing is, instead of playing it where you're using your slide to hit every note, you could use your first finger to fret notes behind the slide. And what that does is you essentially push down on the string on the fret behind the slide, and it'll drop the string to lower it under your slide without you having to pick it up. So you can see my first finger here coming down, right, and then I come up, and then I'll hit that 7th fret with the slide. So that's a technique that is certainly worth spending time on. I'm in standard tuning. By the way, this technique is especially a good thing if you're playing in standard tuning, which I do. About 85% of my slide playing is in standard. So you could do this with so many different things that, or different places that this technique comes up, and it's a great thing to get as comfortable with as you can. Before we talk more about that, just real quick, what I'm doing over on the right hand is, and this is kind of what this video is about, is blocking the strings. If you don't block your strings when you play slide, you start to get this sound. Everything kind of rings out, and then by the end of it, you're on the 1 chord, but the slide is kind of playing like a 4 chord thing. If you're playing with other people, it's going to sound terrible. So you really need to train your right hand to stop the strings from ringing out that you aren't currently playing. So with this line in mind, let's take the first 2 notes. So we got that. I'm hitting that with my first finger. Now this second note here, 2 things are happening here. I'm hitting the B string with my second finger, but I'm also bringing my thumb to the G string, and I'm just kind of placing it there to stop it from ringing out. Okay, so now when I go to here, I'm changing strings, right? So I'm gonna have to now I'm gonna have to block the B string. I do that with my middle finger, and of course when I go to my final note, which is A, I'm gonna hit that on which I'm playing on my G string with my first finger. And then I'm going to stop it with my first finger and hit my final note with my thumb. So all together you get a really clean sounding phrase out of this, which is okay. So what I would encourage you to do is take a melody or take a line that you normally play without slide and figure out how to play it with slide, with not only fretting behind the slide but string blocking too. So whatever it is, you just want to train your fingers to come back down after you've hit the note and you're changing strings. When you first start this, it's something you have to think about a lot. But the more you just like anything else, the more you do it, it'll become more fluid and more comfortable. Just practice it slowly. Make sure you're not having any tension, and just go super slow with this. So that's a really important thing to spend time on. Real quick, I just want to talk about the raking technique that I was telling you. Derek Trucks does this all the time, or Blake Mills does it a lot. If you guys have heard him, if you haven't, you should check him out. He's a freak. But those two guys in particular tend to do it with their thumbs. When I was learning slide, I just couldn't. That was just so hard for me. I guess I could do it more now. But they kind of rake, like if you're going to go to the A on your B string, which is on the 10th fret, they'll kind of rake with their thumb on the D, G, and the B string. And then I guess use their palm to stop the D and the G string and only let the B string ring out. I don't do it that way. I don't know why. It just never felt comfortable to me. So I started doing it with my 3 fingers. You get a very similar sound. And what I do is I rake down, and then my thumb kind of, like the edge of my thumb hits the D string, and then it just kind of like plants on my G string. Like that. And then I let the B string ring out. You can do this on any string that you want. It's just, if you're doing it on the E string, you're gonna start the rake with your thumb on the G. The index is gonna be on the B string, and your middle finger on the high E, and then you plant your thumb on the B string. It sounds way more complicated than it actually is, but you can still get that sound. So it's really up to you the way that you want to do it, whatever feels more comfortable. I see guys doing it both ways, so experiment, see which way works for you. Let me know if you have any questions on this. Video 3 will be coming soon, which is going to be about talking about how to see the fretboard playing slide, which is going to be kind of going in the opposite direction that I'm talking about today, because we're going to be mostly talking about horizontal playing as opposed to vertical playing, which is kind of what we were touching base on today. But that will be coming soon. Be well and slide on, my friends. We'll see you on video 3. All right, take care.